Hey everyone, Creeper here, and today we're responding to another video on me because I always respond to videos made on me. Except this one's actually different than the last three we've actually went over, because this one's actually good. I left a comment on this video, and this was a joke because I happen to also like Legoshi. And the video title and thumbnail are jokes, guys. It's a joke, don't worry.
Hello and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I want to talk about a YouTube channel called Communist Creeper. Communist Creeper is a YouTube channel with over 600 subscribers.
Now 700, thank you all for getting me there.
Twice the amount of subscribers than me. However, recently I have seen a lot of hypocrisy in his videos and lies. So today we're going to be discussing his lies and his hypocrisy. Now the first thing I want to discuss is his Just a Robot video. We're going to later discuss his Prismate Luke video, and I'm going to explain why in that video he's a massive hypocrite. Actually, I'm already going to explain it when I actually review Just the Robot rant video that he made, which is awful and it's full of lies. And well, we're going to discuss the video right now.
Hey everyone, Creeper here, and today we're talking about Just a Robot, otherwise known as Jar. Let's get into that. I have to give out a huge thank you for President Luke for making a video. It was an amazing video, link in the description, and I'm using clips from that video since it has a lot of racist clips he's done. Although I will be adding some clips of my own that I found, and in fact, I actually told Luke about them, and he's honestly such a nice show guy. You should follow him on Twitter. Before we actually get into the clip,
Now, he have already said that he has taken clips from Prismate Luke video, right? So he's already okay with taking things out of context. Like, this is stuff you can research easily. It's like stuff you can just look at just the robot's video and just see the video, the full context.
you see, that's a fair enough point. I relied a bit too much on memory for that video. While some of them I did, in fact, look up and still stand by, others I relied on memory because I have seen these in the past, because I used to watch him while I went through my edgy 12-year-old phase.
So, obviously, he's already okay with taking things out of context.
I relied too much on Luke, and now I know that he's just a lying scumbag that should not be trusted at all. He has betrayed my trust and many others, so his words are just not worth anything at this point.
I remember him saying it was when he said, "Say nigger."
Well, that was bad, but you could at least make the argument, well, he was quoting someone. Well, I personally am of the opinion, just say N-word, don't say the actual word. But you could make that argument, although that is a stupid argument.
But even then, that was to make fun of a white girl. Oh, so your thumbnail maker is either a racist white person or a coon-ass nigger, according to you.
How did you think that was okay? How did you think that was okay? That is a genuine question. That is a genuine gosh dang question. There's no excuse for that.
Now, it's pretty obvious that he hasn't done his research, because if he did do his research, he would actually see the reason of why he said nigger in the video. But to show you context, here is the clip where he is quoting it, because apparently Communist Creeper think he isn't, and he's actually saying that because he wanted to, when in reality he's just quoting it. Here's the clip.
You should subscribe to me and donate all your hard-earned money to me on Patreon.
Now, the reason why I wanted to make this song is not for clout or any of that. There's nothing to gain from this man, because his fans is nothing but racist white people and coon-ass niggas.
And yeah, I know that Jar in the video says coon as nigger instead coon as nigga, but he wasn't saying it because he wanted to say. Also, I'm just assuming that he misheard what they say, because it's pretty obvious when you see the full context. He probably did misheard them and thought they say the N-word with the hard R.
I personally am still of the point that you just don't say slurs, because I am Latino personally, and I don't use Latino slurs. I just don't like slurs at all. So I'm of the opinion that just don't use them. Now, if you could argue if they're good or bad, but I just don't like using them at all.
like?
Okay, bro, you look like you're barely Native American. You could easily pass for a white guy. When I think of a Native American, I think of someone looking like John Redcorn, not a white boy with black hair. If white privilege is so amazing, then just say you're a white guy. You could easily pass for one.
Well, Jar, not everyone looks like a stereotype. That's a racist stereotype. You ever think about that? Not to mention, oh no. Yes, you brought up white privilege. Of course you did. Well, when it comes down to white privilege, you could make the argument that he has one type of white privilege, the privilege of looking white, so that you could actually not be murdered by police. That could be an actual argument, but you don't make that argument. Now, you could make the actual biggest white privilege, which is a systemic problem, is how Native Americans weren't allowed to make money until recently. So no duh, they're going to be not having that as much money as the white.
This already doesn't make any sense. Jar just said the fact that this Native American person doesn't look like Native American or typical Native American. Honestly, I do agree with him at this point. The person that he's referring to doesn't really look Native American. He looks like a typical Caucasian dude. A Caucasian person usually has that typical hairstyle. And for some reason, he decided to just start arguing about systemic racism, even though that has literally nothing to do with the thing that Jar was talking about. Jar was talking about this guy for looking like a Native American, not Native American, white Caucasian when he is Native American. Because yeah, he can easily pass as a Caucasian person, as a white person, not a Native American. If someone were to say that this guy is Native American, they wouldn't really believe him.
Okay, so I personally still think that I made a good point there, because you could make the argument that he has one type of white privilege, which is the white privilege of not being murdered by police officers. But once again, he did not get that wealth passed down through generations, which is another type. Now, that was actually connected to the Just a Robot video because he was brought up white privilege. That's why I brought it up, actually. So, actually, that was important for the conversation, and I still stand by that point. Also, to the original clip, I kind of took offense since I am Latino, but I don't look Latino at all. So, I get mistaken from white people. And then, of course, there's people who say you're not really Latino, and it just gets really annoying. Not to mention, there's also people who tell me to go back to my own country. So, race is an issue that I just take personal. So that's why I could get a little bit emotional, while on other times, I do put off anger as a joke, because I'm not actually angry most of the time in videos. I'm just putting on like a caricature of myself.
Argument, it's a fantasy world, they can do whatever they want. Well, because they make every town and village look like New York City with how diverse it is, I never know where the Witcher is in the show, because every place looks practically the same. If one kingdom was more white or one kingdom was more black, I would at least know where the Witcher was. But instead, every location, kingdom, city, or anything just blends together in the show.
Jar, I don't know if you know this, but race doesn't actually matter when it comes down to country. Like, I could easily tell what's different from a show because you know what? Different environments, different cultures. It's not the color of their gosh-dang skin that matters. And if there's a fantasy world, then why not throw in some black people? Is that so crazy to think?
And of course, there was that...
Now, I do agree that in this point, Jar point of the Witcher series was pretty bad. I mean, I didn't really agree with it. It didn't really make sense to me, but to call him a racist for it is kind of stupid.
Jar just was an idiot and ignorant during that. Of course, he's going to grow as a person. That's why my second video about Jar is on his side, because he said he's going to grow as a person, and I believe that he will.
I hardly say he's racist for it. I would say he's dumb because he didn't get it, but racist, no.
There was that infamous Harry Potter play. Here's the Harry Potter cast for the movie, and here's the Harry Potter cast for the play. Notice anything different? That's right. Ron is not a ginger. Oh yeah, and also Hermione's black and really ugly, but Ron is not a ginger!
Okay, that was just sad. Although I'm not the biggest fan of that play, I don't care if Hermione's black. I really don't. Now, you could have at least made the argument like you can't change it within a set canon, but this is a play. Hamilton is a bunch of people of color, Now, that doesn't make me say, oh, well, those people were white in real life. I don't care. Because it's supposed to be fun. Although I'm not the biggest fan of that play, I don't care about race.
And also, Antunes, one of the people you flagged, well, you called them a map just because they said they were asexual. I understand they do look like a map, which, by the way, stands for minor attracted person.
You can't just say that someone looks like a map. Just because they were makeup, that makes them a map? I didn't know clowns were maps. I didn't know that at all. Not to mention, I think it's quite impressive, although some people...
Dude, calm down. He was obviously joking at that point. Jesus. Also, he wasn't calling her a map. He said it as a joke, but really wasn't calling her a map. He was trying to tell Antune, a annoying person that I generally don't like, that you can't just call people a map because you wanted to. That's the point he was trying to make there.
Now, when it comes to Jar talking about Black Hermione, he was just a bit rude there, and I just don't like people calling others ugly. And when it comes to the map thing, just don't call people maps in general, because even as a joke, you just shouldn't joke around calling others that kind of stuff, you know?
We had a black president, or at least a half-black president. As far as I know, we haven't had a gay president, at least an openly gay president. Pete Buttigieg didn't even come close to winning.
Wow, so I talked about this clip before in another video, but I think I should talk about it here. It's basically being extremely transphobic by saying that it's gay to date a trans woman. If a man dates a trans woman and they are not sexually attracted to also men, then they would be still straight, because trans women are women. And I can't even get to that awful homophobic joke about Pete Buttigieg. I don't even like Pete Buttigieg, but I understand that that's not okay.
Another point that doesn't make any sense. He wasn't trying to say trans people isn't value anything. In fact, no one is arguing against trans people, actually. The clip you took was a joke, and it's pretty obvious it was a joke. But you decide to look at it and say, nope, evidence of transphobic and homophobic. And your evidence is not really evidence. It's just you explaining why it's homophobic.
Honestly, I still kind of agree with this, because it's a stereotype that dating trans people is gay, which is obviously not true, because trans women are women. Of course, my anger there is played off for character, although technically I was angry. I was playing it off more emotional for character.
But in reality, it's not.
The worst I've seen. Not to mention, he just straight up put his character into blackface. Do I really have to say anything about that? Do I? Not to mention the recent blackface SpongeBob that he put on while talking about a black person. They say that it wasn't supposed to be racist, but his editor who put it in said, oh, it's just a SpongeBob I had. I don't care, that looks racist, and that is extremely offensive.
Seriously? Blackface? What? No. That's not blackface, dude. Also, in your point of how you're saying that they also put a blackface SpongeBob, you clearly did not even see their apology or their response. The editor that made that ended up apologizing and said that he didn't really mean it to be taken in such a serious way. And I personally believe them. They do sound generous, and if you see it, you will realize that this was an apology. This wasn't like, we thought it was funny and it looked funny. They actually apologized.
When it comes to the first point, yeah, that's a good point, fine enough. But when it comes to the black SpongeBob, I've actually seen the original apology way before Luke posted his video. And I still stand by that it was insensitive and just should never have been in. And Jar should just check his videos to see if anything's offensive, which he is going to do in the future, because he said so. And I trust that. And honestly, I didn't really buy the apology, but that's up to you.
It's weird how he's leaving that out. Oh, I know why he's leaving it out, just to prove a point. Of course, because he's that of a piece of shit. I was going to say bastard, but I'm like, nah, piece of shit. Yeah, he really is.
Ooh, and he supported the Confederate flag and defended it. You know, the Confederate flag, a racist flag that should not be defended at all, and is an awful flag that is disgusting.
Yeah, you clearly haven't seen the video. In the video, Jar said that he doesn't support the Confederate flag. He's just pointing out some things that a lot of people has misspoken about it or misheard about the flag. But he isn't defending it. I'll show you a clip of him literally saying that he's not defending the Confederate flag, that he doesn't support it.
I just want to make something very clear. I am not a fan of the Confederate flag. However, I do think censoring it will make things worse.
A good one. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video.
I didn't. That's pretty much all it. Thank God that video was off.
When it comes to the Confederate flag, that is an inside joke. I don't expect everyone to understand it, but the whole joke is that we just completely want the Confederate gone erased. That's the joke. It's not for everyone, but it's a reference because when we play Red Dead Online, we have Union outfits, and it's just an inside joke. So clearing that up.
However, though, I do want to point out that in his Prison Mate Luke video, he called Prison Mate Luke he called him out for cutting things out of context and that he shouldn't have done that, when in reality he does the exact same thing as Prison Mate Luke.
This is a fair enough point. It may come off as that, but it's honestly because I'm trying to grow as a person and as a channel, while Prison Mate Luke is refusing to and wants to stay as the same non-researcher, while I have decided that I'm going to do much more research and put more effort into videos.
So in conclusion, he's a hypocrite, he's a liar, and he doesn't do his good research. So yeah, Communist Creeper is a dick. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I have not enjoyed the video that I was looking at because it was that awful and that bad. And to prove that he didn't change his opinion, I will show you this screenshot that I had because he ended up blocking me. He basically banned me from commenting because I was trying to say that he wasn't good at criticism. And it's pretty obvious he's not good at criticism because he ended up just banning my comments. I went to my alt account, tried to explain this to him, but he also banned me there. So not only is he a hypocrite, he's also a hypocrite because he doesn't take criticism, something that he kind of criticized Prison Mate Luke for.
I actually take criticism quite fine. That's why I ask people to make videos on me. But the reason I actually blocked you is because I thought you were someone else, because that person has been harassing me for like 2 months now. And that's why.
So yeah, in conclusion, Communist Creeper is the worst. Thank you so much for watching and have a nice day. Also, I'm not going to be uploading videos like this more often, so don't subscribe for these type of videos. Mainly just wanted to talk about this guy and how much of a liar and a hypocrite he is, because he truly is one. Also, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Oh, before this video, and I want to say that I want to correct my mistake by saying that I confronted him. I wasn't trying to tell him that he has to take criticism. I was trying to tell him the problem that I'm already mentioning in these videos already, where he's a hypocrite and a liar. But that's the only thing I was trying to explain to him, just to be clarified. Goodbye.
So that video wasn't too bad. I've seen way worse, and some that just make stupid points. But yeah, this was a fine video. And I've completely grown apart from Prison Mate Luke. I do not look up to him anymore whatsoever because he's a liar and a scoundrel. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm pretty sure I fixed everything. I'm pretty sure I explained everything. Well, Creeper out.
Socialism is when the government does stuff. And it's more socialism the more stuff it does. And if it does a real lot of stuff, it's communism.